everybody, my name is Tara and today I want to share with you my 5 favorite features of Scrivener. If you've never heard of Scrivener before, it is a word processing program. But it's so much more than that. It is a complete project manager that's useful in every step of the writing process. It's got something for everyone. It's paradise for planners like me who like to organize and outline everything before they start writing, but it also helps pantsers create order from the chaos as they go or after their first draft is done. I started using Scrivener 7 years ago now, and I have not stopped talking about how great it is since. It has completely changed the way that I approach both writing and revising, and as a result, the quality of my work has grown by leaps and bounds. There is so much to love about Scrivener, but today I'm going to narrow it down to my 5 favorite features. This will not be a step-by-step tutorial of these features, but more of a brief look at them. But if you want to know any more about them, just leave me a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer your questions. For the purpose of this video, I've created a project based on the novel that I drafted and am now revising with Scrivener. This is an example of how my projects might look in the early stages of drafting, but should not be considered an example of how you should do it, because every writer has their own process, and every writer might use Scrivener in a different way. This is just one way. Before we get started with all the bells and whistles, let's have a look at Scrivener's standard layout. The binder is the directory of your draft documents and all the other materials within the project. The editor is where the magic happens. At the bottom of the editor, you can see the document's target word count and the progress that you've made towards it. The inspector displays the document's synopsis, label and status, notes, keywords, custom metadata, snapshots, and comments. The corkboard view gives you an at-a-glance look at all the documents in a single folder and lets you drag and drop to rearrange them. And the outliner view shows you any elements of your project that you want to see, and it's especially great for making charted outlines of your novel. And now, onto the bells and whistles. Favorite feature number 1, Scrivener keeps you and your novel organized. When I used to write in Microsoft Word, my novel would end up being a total mess. There'd be big chunks of yellow highlighting and red letter text everywhere, and entire paragraphs crossed out because I was too scared to actually cut them. And it's impossible to find that one little detail you're looking for in a 100-page wall of text. But then I found Scrivener, and I never looked back. Instead of your novel sprawling wildly, Scrivener lets you break it down into more manageable pieces so you can focus on one chapter at a time. If you're a non-linear writer, you can jump back and forth between chapters without worrying about copying and pasting them into the right order later. Each document has designated areas for synopses, notes, and comments, so there's no need to cram them into the manuscript itself or get lost in cross-referencing with other files. And if you need to find that scene where that big plot point happens, gone are the days of scrolling through thousands and thousands of words. It is just a click away in the binder. Scrivener also keeps you organized by keeping everything you need for your novel in one place. Timelines, world maps, research, character profiles, pictures, anything you might need to reference while you're writing is right there in your project file. And you can use the split screen view to keep those background materials right beside your novel as you're writing it. Whether you are planning your novel ahead of time or you're ready to start revising an unruly first draft, Scrivener is the perfect tool to organize your story. Favorite feature number 2, document and project targets help you stay on target. I have a terrible habit of writing way too much in fear of writing way too little, and in every single NaNoWriMo I have done, I have hit those 50,000 words before I got anywhere close to the end of my story. And there are other writers who hit the end of their story without getting close to 50,000 words. But both problems can be solved, or at least helped, with document targets. To figure out what my document target should be, I just start at the top and work my way down. So let's say I'm writing a 3-act structured novel and I'm doing NaNoWriMo, so my overall word count goal is 50,000 words. Those 50,000 words would break down to 12,500 for Act 1, 25,000 for Act 2, and 12,500 for Act 3. If I planned out 6 chapters for Act 1, that means they should be about 2,100 words apiece. But of course, some might need more and others might need less, depending on what's actually happening in them. So when I get to this chapter, I know I need to keep it around 2,500 words, and that helps me stay on track and not waste time rambling on for 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 words. If you don't like your word count staring you right in the face, you can hide it, but I like keeping an eye on my progress as I write, and it's just so satisfying to watch that little bar fill up. You can see the progress for each document in a folder or for your entire draft by adding the progress column to the outliner view. And of course you'll want to set a target for the draft itself, which makes it especially easy to track your progress during NaNoWriMo. And you can set a goal for a single writing session. This is great for making sure you're hitting that magic number of 1,667 words a day during NaNoWriMo, or just for tracking your daily progress when you're working on multiple documents at a time. Favorite feature number 3, Snapshots offer insurance against bad decisions and give you a retrospective look at the evolution of your story. The NaNoWriMo powers that be discourage editing in November, but sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes something just isn't working, so you change it. And then a few days later, you wish you hadn't. But Scrivener can save the day with snapshots. You can take a snapshot of a document before making any changes, and then make as many changes as you want without the fear of regrets. You can view that snapshot and your edited document side by side to compare them. You can copy over anything you wish you hadn't cut. You can even roll back to an earlier version of the document if need be. And when you're working on major revisions for your second, third, fourth draft, or even beyond, you can use snapshots to easily look back on your earlier drafts, or just to track the evolution of your novel. I used to be terrified of making any big changes, or sometimes even just cutting a single sentence, because inevitably I was gonna want that sentence back. But snapshots give me the freedom to go wild, with the reassurance that I won't really lose anything. Favorite feature number 4, labels, statuses, keywords, custom metadata, and collections offer you even more organization. Only hardcore planners like myself are likely to use these features before even starting their first draft, but painters will find them useful in keeping things organized as they go, and these features can benefit everybody when it comes time for revision. Labels are best for tracking one particularly important aspect of your novel. If you're writing in multiple POVs, you can use labels to indicate the narrator of each chapter. If you're writing on multiple timelines, you can label your scenes as past or present. In my example, I'm using labels to denote whether a chapter's focus is on exposition, plot progress, or character development. During revision, statuses are a great way to keep track of what you've edited and what still needs to be done, but you can customize status options just as easily as you can labels, and you can use them for whatever suits your needs. Keywords are very similar to labels, except that you can assign as many keywords as you want to a single document. With keywords, you can essentially tag your chapters with all the characters, settings, and subplots that they involve, or with what they need done in revision, like further research, world building, character development, and so on. If you like charted outlines, you can set one up right inside Scrivener by using custom metadata. The outliner view is already equipped to show a document's title, synopsis, label, status, and word count, target, and progress, but you can create custom metadata fields for anything else you might need to know about a scene, like its POV, its setting, date and time, goal and conflict, and so on. All of those things are great on their own, but they are especially powerful when used in conjunction with collections. Collections, as the name implies, collect related documents, but the relationship is up to you. If you're writing in multiple POVs, you might create a collection for each character's chapters, or you could collect all the chapters that take place in a certain setting. There are 2 types of collections, standard and search. Standard collections are created manually by dragging and dropping documents from the binder into a collection tab. These collections are static and will only change if you change them. On the other hand, a search collection is dynamic and will automatically update itself as you update your project. You can create search collections based on the document's text itself, synopses, labels, keywords, or metadata. Search collections are especially great for keeping track of revisions. You can make yourself a to-do list by searching for documents with the status needs revision and saving the results as a collection. Change document status when you're done revising it, and it'll be removed from that collection. But if later on you decide it needs more work, just change the status back to needs revision, and it's in the collection again. And favorite feature number 5, Scrivener is fully customizable, so you can make it what you need it to be. Scrivener is a huge and complex program, and it might be daunting when you're first starting out, especially if you're used to writing in a simple word processor like Microsoft Word or Google Docs. But if the thought of managing keywords or creating collections or even just writing a synopsis for all your chapters makes you sweat, you don't have to do any of it. Using Scrivener is as easy as creating a document and writing something in it. You might use the other features later on, or you might not. It's all up to you. You can create documents for your chapters as you go along and just leave them all mingling in the main draft folder, or you can set everything up beforehand in nested folders upon nested folders. If you like to outline your novel with index cards on your wall, Scrivener's corkboard might be your best friend. But if you outline with a spreadsheet, you might never look at the corkboard, but make extensive use of the custom metadata and the outliner view instead. If you like writing full screen so there is nothing else distracting you, you can do that. But if you like writing with your synopsis and notes and research materials right within view, you can do that too. Don't use anything in the inspector? Get rid of it. Don't like the binder staring you in the face? Get rid of that too. Another way that Scrivener is so versatile is that it's available as an app on iOS devices, and the app syncs with your Dropbox account. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can literally take your novel with you anywhere you go. And Scrivener isn't just for writing novels. You can write movie scripts or blog posts. You can collect research and reference materials for a school project. You can organize your favorite recipes, and so much more. I actually use Scrivener to plan and organize my YouTube videos. When it comes down to it, Scrivener can work for anyone, whether you're a planner or a pantser, whether you're starting your first draft or you're revising your fourth draft. Scrivener is what you make of it. So there are my 5 favorite features of Scrivener. Like I said before, if you have any questions about anything I've talked about here or anything else in Scrivener, feel free to leave me a comment down below. I am not an expert by any means, but I will do my best to help you out. And if you love Scrivener just as much as I do, let me know what your favorite feature is, because I'm always excited to learn new ways to use my favorite program. If you've never used Scrivener before, but I have convinced you to give it a try, you can download a free 30-day trial from the Literature and Latte website, which I will link for you down below. And if you're ready to buy, great news! Scrivener is a longtime sponsor of NaNoWriMo, and they offer a 20% discount for NaNoWriMo participants and a 50% discount for NaNoWriMo winners. I will link the NaNoWriMo sponsor page down below for you as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Whether you are brand new to Scrivener or you've been using it for years, I hope that this video has been at least a little bit helpful for you. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, share it with your writer friends, and subscribe to my channel for more NaNoWriMo goodness throughout the rest of this month. And until next time, everybody, happy writing. Bye-bye.